Welcome to the AACFB's 2024 Meet the Funder webinar series. My name is Monica Harper. I'm the Executive Director of the AACFB, and I will be your host. Our presenter today is Sasha Mata from 360 Equipment Finance. 360 Equipment Finance is both a funding source member and a gold sponsor of the AACFB, and I'd like to thank them for their support of the association. Before I introduce Sasha, I'd like to go over a few items to make this webinar more enjoyable and informative for everyone. During the presentation, you should see a Q&A box that will allow you to ask questions. If you have any questions during the presentation, please submit your questions in the box and they will be answered by the end of the webinar. Please reserve the chat box for communication between attendees. The entire webinar should take no more than 30 to 45 minutes. And for those of you who would like to review this at a webinar at a later date, it will be posted on the 2024 Meet the Funder page of the website, and it will be emailed out to the AACFB membership. At this time, I'll turn it over to Sasha. It is all yours.
Thanks so much, Monica, for that warm welcome. My name is Sasha Mata, and I am the account manager here at 360 Equipment Finance. For those of you who are semi-familiar with us, I have been with the company for 2.5 years now, and my name might sound familiar because I was our contract manager handling all docs and fundings for the past couple of years before transitioning to broker relations. So my role now is to sign up new brokers, onboard them, familiarize them with our processes, our procedures, our criteria, and what we look for, and continue cultivating those relationships throughout our fundings together. We are a lender in the equipment financing space, and we do ticket sizes ranging from 5,000 up to 150,000. Our terms range from a minimum of 18 months, and we go all the way up to 60 months. We traditionally try to reserve the 60-month terms for higher ticket sizes, I would say over 100,000. The best part is we do not have a minimum credit score requirement, so no minimum FICO in order to submit a deal here. We do deal with a lot of challenged credit profiles, so a lot of that B, C type of credit criteria, but I'll get through that shortly here. All of our deals are lease structures. They are true leases with a 10% purchase option in most states. It just went up to 15% in California and New York, and I believe there will be more states to follow. However, right now it's just 15% in those two states. And we do collect an upfront minimum security deposit of 10% on most of our deals. So that would be applied towards their end of lease purchase option. And we do pay broker fees up to 15 points on a ticket size of up to 50,000. And we do pay up to 10 points for any deal that's over 50,000. And those do not have to be incremental. If a broker wants to take fewer points to help close the deal, they're more than welcome to do so. It's very simple and easy, and I'll get through that as well. Just to touch on some of the industries that we like to see, we do a lot of construction and yellow iron. We do local transportation, manufacturing, medical, auto repair has been a big one for us lately. We do landscaping, agriculture, car hauling, and waste management. We do not, we are restricted from financing any sleeper cabs. And we do, if we look at any over-the-road companies, over-the-road trucking companies, we will consider trailers as long as they have 2 or more trucks in their fleet. So we do a wide range of assets. Given the current market conditions, we do have some titled assets that fall into non-preferred equipment. However, we still encourage all brokers to send us those. For example, an RV deal or a bus deal, we wouldn't turn it down. It's just not preferred equipment given the current trucking market and everything that's going on in that space. So you might see a little more structure added to those assets, but we will entertain them. So don't shy away from sending those to us. Our documentation fees range from $395 up to $795, just depending on the ticket size. And we do collect that upfront by credit card prior to getting final contract documents out to the customer. And the same goes for any site inspection fee. We do private party sales as well as vendor sales. And on all private party deals, we do collect a $345 site inspection fee, and that's paid by credit card upfront as well. Um, and then our security deposit requirements are, like I said, a minimum of 10% to cover that end of lease purchase option. And we normally require that that be paid by certified funds, so a wire or a cashier's check. We recently added a way to collect that security deposit up to $2,500 by credit card to help speed a deal up and not slow down the funding time. We really pride ourselves on quick fundings, quick, everything goes really smoothly once a deal is approved. We get that signed term sheet back, the docs go out. We really want to speed up and close any gaps between docs and funding. So we try to make it as seamless and as smooth as possible. I know myself, just based on all of my time in docs and funding, we've eliminated some of our heavier requirements there. So everything is really transparent and easy, and I'll get through that shortly as well. Um, some of the restrictions, we are currently restricted in doing business in Alaska and Hawaii. One of the exciting things is that we recently opened up Louisiana. We will entertain title transactions in Louisiana. However, right now we will not look at anything that's not entitled in that state. And as far as industry restrictions, we are restricted from doing business in any logging equipment that is non-titled and long haul trucking. But like I said, we will consider trailers for over the road trucking companies with 2 or more trucks in their fleet. And then our automatic turndowns for credit would be anybody who's late on child support, has tax liens that are exceeding 25,000 or current BKs. We cannot look at those and they will automatically be turned down. For those of you that are familiar with us, we have completely changed our tier structure over the last few months. At the start of this year, we introduced 2 brand new tiers to 360. Those are our tiers 1 and tiers 2. We've never offered those prior to 2024, so this is extremely exciting. We rolled these out in hopes of seeing an influx in submissions and applications coming our way, and it's been working. So our goal is to keep increasing our funding volume with these 2 tiers becoming available. So going through the tiers really quickly, again, there's no minimum FICO requirement for our tier 4. We also don't have a minimum time in business requirement. We do not we cannot entertain a startup company if they don't have good revenues. We are a heavy revenue-based cash flow lender. So those are the things we look at heavily. We want to make sure that their deposits yield what they're asking for. So on a ticket size of 5,000 up to 25,000, we normally like to see about 40% of the equipment cost in their average bank deposits. And on a deal size of greater than 25,000, we like to see about 85% of the equipment cost in their average bank deposits. So that's kind of a good outline to go off of in what we're looking for as far as revenue goes. And then our tier 3, this is a really common one where we see a lot of approvals. There's a 2+ year time in business requirement. Minimum FICO to be in this tier is 575. And we do preferred and non-preferred equipment in this tier. Tiers 1 and 2, we really reserve for just preferred equipment, greater time in business, better FICO scores, better credit scores on those PGs, and they have to have some comp debt or be a homeowner. for us to consider these two tiers. But like I said, we are getting an increase in submissions that fall into these two categories, which is super exciting. We've never had these programs before, and it's been really great to see the change that it's made in the submissions that we're getting and the deals that we're really funding. So um, we have a wide range. We have programs that pretty much fit any challenged credit criteria. Um, and I'll get through that as well. We've also included our buy rates here. So whenever a broker's calculating a payment, or if you want to back into the deal and see how we got to any configuration, you can do so with this chart here. This is in our broker book as well that we send out. And I could go through a deal here on our broker payment calculator tool. So we send this out as well. We provide this to all of our brokers who sign up with us. It's a great tool to use. It helps you get a good ballpark payment to see if we'd even be a fit if this is in the customer's budget. So if we were doing a deal that was, let's say, 30,000 and no down payment, just financing 30,000, and you would think that the customer falls into, let's say, a tier 4 because they've got some pretty heavy challenges on there and it's non-preferred equipment. We would want to look at, say, a 36-month term. It automatically plugs in that buy rate, the sell rate, and that estimated monthly payment once we put in the broker points. So say you wanted to make 15 points on this deal because it's under 50,000, we can cap you at 15, max amount of points to be paid here. The customer's monthly payment would be roughly $1,525. And then if you know that that's not going to work for the customer, they have a smaller budget, we can play around with the stuff. You can look at maybe taking 12 points on the deal to see what that reduces the payment down to, so forth and so on. If we feel like the customer may be a tier 3 and we want to see that monthly payment, this is all completely customizable, very user friendly. We encourage all of our brokers to use this tool. It'll help save a lot of time whenever you're submitting a deal to us, just to know if it's a fit or not. So highly recommend using it. We provide it, we'll send it out via email, and it's on our broker portal as well online, which I'll get to in just a few minutes here. Our 5-step funding process is really straightforward. It's very similar to most other lenders where you submit the deal to us. We can receive submissions via email, so you can send it directly to me. I would preview it and I would send it off to credit if I think it's a fit. If I don't think it'll be a fit based on their deposits or something that I'm saying that would potentially not qualify, I would let you know prior to submitting it. But once we get that submission and it goes to underwriting, our credit team tries to have a response back, a decision within 3 hours. And that's when we'll let you know if the deal is either approved or declined, or if we require any additional information. Those are the 3 decisions that you'll see go out shortly after submitting the deal to us. We have a very quick turnaround time, like I said. And then once that signed term sheet comes back and the customer's ready to move forward, somebody from our credit team would be doing a phone interview with the customer. They'll go over their business, verify any information, addresses, which term they want. We offer 2 monthly payment dates that the customer could choose from. They can make their payments on the 1st or on the 15th of every month. So we give them a little flexibility there, which is nice. And then once that phone interview is complete, we would let the broker know what items are needed in order to get docs out. We have a certain list of requirements for non-title deals and then another list of items that we require for title deals. And we would get that off. Once all those items are received back, we would get the contract documents generated via DocuSign. Everything is eDocs now. So very simple, very quick, easy. We just want to make it as smooth as possible. So we require all PGs to have their own email address, their own phone number, and they'll be getting that link to sign their e-docs via DocuSign. And then once those docs are signed and fully executed, and we've got all of the items that we need, including that security deposit, then we're good to fund. We no longer require upfront COI or proof of insurance in order to fund. We try to make it quick and easy so that doesn't hold up a deal anymore. The customer would have up to 14 days after funding to provide us with their COI, and then we'd get that added to the deal. Oftentimes, if it's a title transaction, obviously we would need proof of insurance, but really it just depends on who's doing the title work and so forth. But everything will be communicated. We try to make it as concise as possible. So when submitting a deal to us, we do ask for a short write-up to be included. You know, let us know what the customer's time in business is, what their business entails, what they need the asset for, how it'll help them grow their business, and of course, what the cost is. Uh, the more information you could provide us with, the better your chances are, I would say. We like to see a Secretary of State in a submission. It's not a requirement, but we do require a signed credit application. All owners of the company are required to go on as personal guarantors. So we need signatures on that credit application to allow us to pull credit. Or if you've got your own credit report and you'd like to submit it to us, that's fine too. We normally do a soft pull, and it's typically the TransUnion Credit Bureau. We also require their last 3 months of business bank statements. We require all pages of that prior to complete an underwriting of a file. And then we'd like to see the invoice or the bill of sale or the cost of the asset, just a description of what they're getting and how much it costs, whether it's a private party sale or a vendor sale. And prior to getting documents out, we will instruct you on if sales taxes need to be removed in a certain state or not. Um, we try to facilitate that process to make it as easy for you as possible. And then these are some of our requirements for titled assets and non-titled assets. Typically, what we ask for on both types of transactions. The invoices will have to have a different format if they're titled versus non-titled, and we'll get through all of that in docs. We really help facilitate that as well. So if a broker wants us to have direct contact with a vendor to help get those items, we're happy to do so. We just keep the lines of communication open, and we try to, like I said, just make it as smooth and as easy for you as possible. We're a referral-based lender. All of our deals generate through our brokers, so we try to, keep that relationship as strong as possible. And your success really is our success. So it's a work in progress. We love any type of feedback. If there's something that you'd like to see us doing, or if there's something that you think we could improve upon, any feedback is greatly appreciated. We want to increase our funding volume, and we want to help cultivate those relationships with our referral partners. So um, we've put out a ton of resources. We highly encourage that all of our brokers sign up onto our broker portal, which we now have. We rolled this out in August of last year. So this has been around for about a year now, and we're still constantly improving it. But if you want to sign up with us, you can reach out to me directly. I can send you our broker enrollment application, or you can go on our website, 360equipmentfinance.com, click on partners, and it'll take you to this screen here. Um, It'll walk you through the new broker application. Once you submit that, I'll receive it and I'll be reaching out. I'll let you know what your status is with us. And once you're approved and you could start sending in deals and funding, um, we could take it from there. I could walk you through our full portal, which has a dashboard for all brokers who are signed up. Here's an example of what that dashboard will look like. I have grayed out the specific broker just for privacy reasons, but this is real time. It'll show you how many applications you've submitted to us, how many were approved, and how many came back with a signed term sheet and how many funded. It'll give you your total amount funded with us. And on the very bottom, we also track all broker commissions paid. So you can check the status of any submission. You can communicate with us through a chatter feature within the broker portal. Um, and it's a really, really great tool. You don't have to rely on me emailing you back with a status update, although we are pretty quick. Some brokers love the portal, and I love it too because it gives you a really clear, concise depiction of where you stand, where your deals are, and what else may be needed, where we could improve. Um, Really, really great tool. Highly encourage it. All right. And then a lot of questions that we got asked are if we do any sale leasebacks. And yes, we will do sale leasebacks. However, our sale leaseback program does have a restriction. We do only do them on titled assets, and the equipment would have to be 10 years or newer versus a regular submission. When we're looking at titled assets that are not a sale leaseback, we have a 20-year age restriction. On a sale leaseback, that's a 10-year age restriction. Um, Going through the time and business requirement, although we do not have a time and business requirement, we are a revenue-based lender. So it's hard for us to gauge how the business is doing without those bank statements. If they have personal bank statements and they've been in their industry for a while, and that's all included in the write-up, and we could see their revenues in their personal bank statements, we can consider it. However, we do like for them to have at least those 3 months of business bank statements for any submission. We also take any additional collateral to help strengthen a deal. So if the customer is unable to come up with any money down, if the deal has some structure being requested, we will take collateral as long as it's owned free and clear and our lien is secured before we fund. That's a great option as well to help strengthen the deal. Um, and we do report to PayNet. We do not report to personal credit. And we also rely heavily on PayNet as well. So in our underwriting process, our credit manager will go through the banks, they'll go through the file that was sent in and submitted. And if everything checks out, we will do a background check and we'll pull a PayNet report just to make sure that they don't have any past dues or defaults on their PayNet. So we do look heavily on that as well. Um, like we do not have a minimum FICO score requirement for our submissions. We are really reliant on cash flow and their deposits. So we rely very heavily on those. All of our leases are true leases. We do not do dollar buyouts or EFAs. And like I had said previously, most states have that 10% residual buyout at the end, with 15% in New York and California. Our max exposure is 150,000. And those are really the common questions that we get asked. We are constantly making upgrades and changes to our programs to better them. So we try to keep the lines of communication open. Anytime we make a change or offer any kind of a campaign promotion or any type of a reward program, we want to communicate that to our brokers and to all of our partners. We do send out monthly marketing campaigns as well. We will um, outline any updates that are really cool and exciting through that platform. And I make it a point to personally talk to my brokers who I've got signed up and just really keep them up to speed on what we're doing, what we're changing, what we're seeing out there. I want to have that open communication so that we can both work well together. And the goal is to have you fund as many deals with us as we can. And if we can better any of our programs, we're always open to feedback. Like I had said, that marketing campaign is really neat too. It gives a good outline of we like to um, we like to present a deal of the month. So we pick a really challenged deal from the month prior that we funded, and we kind of outline it so that you could see um, what we offer and what we're able to accomplish. So I would always keep an eye out for those marketing campaigns. They're super short, sweet, to the point, but a lot of good information in those. We have a referral program as well. So if customers come back to us directly, we will um, work on their deal and we will still pay the original broker a commission of up to 15 points on that repeat customer that came to us directly. So that's a great loyalty program that we're running constantly. And we're going to be at the AACFB conference in New Orleans in September. So I highly encourage everybody to stop by our booth. We're going to have some cool giveaways. And I'd love to meet everybody face to face if we haven't already spoken, or if we have spoken. It's always nice to put a face to the name. So come say hello. I'll answer any questions, and I will let Monica wrap this up with our Q&A session.
Great, thank you. We do have a few questions, and just as a reminder, if you have a question, please put that in the Q&A box and we'll get an answer for you. First question is, do you fund small rental fleets of titled vehicle?
So if the customer is currently in a rental, am I understanding correctly?
I guess the small rental fleet, I don't know if I don't have any other details.
Okay, so I apologize. We do flip a lot of customers who are in current rentals, whether it be through like a United Rentals or Vermeer or one of those major players in the vendor space. If they're in a rental agreement, we can definitely save them a couple of $100s or a few $100s, just depending on the credit criteria. We do flip a lot of rental to lease customers. I'm not sure if that answers the question, but if you want to email me afterwards with a little more detail, I'd be happy to get more information.
Great. The next one is just about the recording. So we are recording this and it will be up on the AACFB YouTube channel and our website. And we will email it out to everybody on our mailing list later today. What is the average deal size, credit size, given your high rates? Would you say like to see more C and D credit?
Yeah, so we do a lot of, I would say, B minus to D plus credit. On average, our ticket sizes are about 30 to 35,000. We do a lot of small ticket. I know they're a lot easier to close. We love them, much easier to close. So yeah, I would say those lower end tickets are our bread and butter.
And then I don't know if you have shared your contact details. Someone was asking for that. I don't know if you have
not, but I will. Yes.
Okay.
Good point. So again, my name is Sasha, and you can reach me by phone or email. My email is my first name, SASHA at 360equipmentfinance.com. And hopefully that could be included when Monica gets this sent out. I can probably include my contact info on there for everybody.
Okay. This is a long one. The structure is always at least 15% end of term. California, New York, most other states lease 10%. EOT max exposure 150,000. You use Equifax, PayNet, and TransUnion report. I don't know if this is a question. It says congratulations on the promotion from
Oh,
contracts to
thank
broker.
you.
Will you consider local transportation transactions only?
Yes, we will.
Will you consider car hauling to be long haul, over the road, or short haul only?
That's a good question. So we typically pull a safer report and we like to see what their DOT and all of that looks like. And that's really a decision for our credit team. I don't get too involved in that step of the process, but our credit department will look at safer, DOT, all of that when determining if it's preferred or non-preferred and if we could assist.
Okay. Why are sleeper trucks so risky? Just curious.
Um, so sleeper cabs tend to cross state lines, and in the event of a default or customer collection, since we are a challenged credit lender, it would be really difficult to repossess that asset just because it's constantly on the road, always traveling. We don't have a we don't require any tracking devices be put on the vehicle, so it would just be hard for us to locate it, pinpoint it, and repossess.
Gotcha. Says you'll do Louisiana title today. What was the holdup for Louisiana in the past?
So their laws are very different in the state of Louisiana, and just getting judgments if a deal defaults typically would be very difficult for us to recoup anything. So just a tough state.
Percentage of transactions shown bank statement deposits 65% or 85% depending on size or credit quality. Can you go over that one more time?
Yes. So on any deal up to $25,000, we like to see 40% of the equipment cost in their average deposits. And if the deal size is over 25K up to 150K, which is our max, we like to see 85% of the equipment cost in their average bank deposits.
Okay. Is that not in the broker guide, or is there a reason why
It
that's not in the broker guide?
Yes, it is in here, but we recently changed it, so we're working on getting it fixed. It's right here. But
Okay.
we've lowered that requirement, so it's now 40% up to 25K tickets and 85% up to from 25K and up.
Do you go direct to the commercial borrower, public without a broker involved? I guess, do you have a direct side?
No, we are completely broker driven.
Okay. What percentage of your of your business is from brokers? So I would say 100%.
100%, yeah.
Okay, that was all that question. And then, oh, on the other one, it was the customer is a rental equipment / car company. Would they lease to them, i.e. the renter, to rent to their customers? So this goes back to the fleet question at the beginning.
Yes, so we would not be able to lease out to any rental companies.
Have you financed electric vehicle fleets? We would love to hear whether they fall within your preferred or non-preferred equipment and how you determine that categorization.
That is a great question. I don't know the answer to it, but I am happy to get with my credit team to check on that for you.
I think I have a couple of questions. I think they've written that. Do you speak fluent Russian?
I do, yes. I
think
know some people ask me if I speak Spanish because of my last name, and I don't, unfortunately. In this industry, I really wish I did have more of a Spanish background, but unfortunately I don't, but I do speak fluent Russian, yes.
Hey, that's something.
Yeah.
150K cap would prohibit fleet rental. I don't know if that's a question or just a statement.
Yes, I guess it would.
All right. Looking to see if there's any other questions. I don't see any.
Like I said, I'll be at the conference, so if anyone's there or if anyone wants to reach out to me by phone or email, feel free to do so.
Right. Well, since it looks like we've answered all the questions, I will wrap things up. Big thanks to all our participants, especially our valued funding source member and gold sponsor, 360 Equipment Finance. Thanks for a great job. You did awesome. We do invite everyone to meet with 360 Equipment Finance in person at the Commercial Financing Expo coming up this September 3rd or 4th and 5th in New Orleans. It's going to be a great time. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you.